You know what? I think we can all agree that Disney Junior sucks now, and it's mostly because Disney has no clue on what the heck it's even doing anymore. And neither do I. The programs now are complete trash, and though we do occasionally get gems like Doc McStuffins and Sophia the First, more often than that, they're really bad and smelly. It wasn't always like that, though. If you grew up in the 1990s or early 2000s, you'll know that Disney Junior, which was named Playhouse Disney at the time, was actually pretty good. Some fantastic programs, including Bear in the Big Blue House, Handy Manny, and the Pittsburgh Pigs. It was February 14th, 2011, when the network changed to Disney Junior, and that was the day when Playhouse Disney died and the magic went away. However, what many people don't know is that the change from Playhouse Disney to Disney Junior wasn't a company decision or marketing ploy. No, in reality, it was actually due to an episode of a certain cartoon about a certain yellow bear, which caused the head of the studio at the time, Joseph Green, to fire all the staff and replace them with new ones once Disney Junior was established. How do I know this, you might be asking? Well, cliche as this might sound, I actually used to be an intern for Playhouse Disney from 2004 to 2011, along with my wife Emily and my part-time lover Pompadour. I hated my wife because, let's just say, she was quite cozy with some of the executives at Playhouse Disney. Basically, she slept with them. That's kind of the point I was trying to make, you know? However, Emily's blatant cheating is actually what got me my job at the studio in the first place, so I have to thank her for that, I suppose. Notice that I'm talking about Emily in past tense. You'll soon find out why. Ahem. As for my part-time lover, Pompadour, I always loved him more than Emily. We're actually planning on getting married during the Christmas holidays, if you want to come. I've already got your invites ready. Sorry for that random tangent, by the way. This story all began on a freezing cold day in December 2010. I'll remember the exact date because I'm not a computer boyo. Me and my coworkers, including Emily and Pompadour, were called into the viewing room to watch the brand new episode of My Friends Tigger and Pooh. If you haven't seen the show before, I'll give you a brief summary. It's about Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, too, along with a girl named Darby, who takes the role of Christopher Robin in the series, having their own detective service called the Super Sleuths. They spend every episode helping a computerized character. It's a compu character. That's a short way of saying computer character. With a problem. I didn't really like this show that much, but Emily loved it, and so did Pompadour. Pompadour began rubbing his bald head up and down before saying, "Oh, I don't like this, Peter. I don't like this one bit." "Why?" I asked. "The bingo game's been cancelled tonight due to the weather," Pompadour explained while crying. I shook my head as another intern named Mark Bergen put the disc into the DVD player. The episode started with the normal theme song, and it was completely normal. The only real difference is that Pooh was 1 inch taller than normal. Trust me, I measured. I vomited all over Pompadour's bald head when I saw that. The episode then started with Pooh walking down the 100-acre, it's an abbreviation for 100-acre wood, with a big smile on his face. Pooh was walking for a while until he entered a small park where he ran into Tigger and Darby. Darby waved at Pooh when she saw him and greeted him with, "Hi, Pooh. Good to see you're happy today." "Well, Pooh, old boy, I've never seen you that happy," Tigger said also happily. I got sick again. "Well, today is actually quite an important day for little old me," Pooh explained before continuing. "My entire family is coming down here to visit me." "Wow, that sounds amazing, Pooh," Darby exclaimed while giving Pooh a hug. Tigger looked really uncomfortable as Darby had put laxatives in his orange juice. Wow. "What time will they be arriving?" Darby asked, and Pooh responded with, "They'll be here at Oh, bother, I've forgotten what time they'll be here, Pooh said sadly. Don't worry, Pooh. We'll help you remember. This looks like a job for the super. Darby didn't get to finish her sentence as Tigger began taking a dump in the punch bowl they at the picnic table had for some reason. Ooh, I remember now, Pooh exclaimed happily before continuing. They'll be here at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Oh, buggering Boogerton. I only have an hour to get everything ready for them, Pooh said sadly. Don't worry, Pooh. We'll help you get ready. Right, Tigger? Darby asked while nudging Tigger in his crotch area, causing it to bleed. No, Tigger said, but his reply was ignored. It then showed a montage of everyone getting things ready for Pooh's family arrival. Emily then began eating my ear, but I managed to push her off as the episode continued. Pooh and his friends gathered outside his house to await the arrival of his family when a small Rolls-Royce pulled up on the parking lot. 4 bears got out of the car and walked over to Pooh and the gang. One of the bears, who was dressed like a 1970s gangster, came up to Eeyore and said, "Sup, boy, want to smoke some weed?" "I'd rather smoke some crack," Eeyore said while listening to a podcast by Uncle Remus. "Are you going to introduce us, Pooh?" Another bear who was dressed in a Royal Navy uniform asked. "Yes, of course," Pooh said before continuing. "Guys, this is my family." Pooh then began listening and listing his friends' family's names one by one. The gangster-dressed bear was named Franklin, and he was Pooh's older brother. The Royal Navy uniform-wearing bear was named Ainsley, who was Pooh's father. Another bear, being Pooh's mother, was wearing a red dress, was ironically also named Emily. And another bear, who was Pooh's younger brother, dressed in a 3-piece suit, was named Tim. "So these are the friends you've been telling us about?" Emily asked while walking around the gang in a circle. Not a square, because this Pooh is cold. Yes, Pooh said while making a sandwich with, of course, honey in it. "They're lovely," Tim said while sounding like Tim Curry. Ironic, I know, but he really did. "I'm afraid, Pooh, I have to go early as my hotel is having some problems with a stolen credit card," Tim said as the limousine pulled up beside him with a big fat driver getting out of the car. The driver pulled out a large cheesy pizza before saying, "Mr. Pooh, your very own cheese pizza." This caused Bergen to run out of the room in fear. Pussy, I thought to myself. I bet you're probably now wondering why this episode caused Playhouse Disney to change into Disney Junior. Well, get ready, because that question won't be soon answered. Pooh then asked if Tim could have a quick sandwich, and Tim agreed. He ate the sandwich and then died on the spot. Yeah, not even joking on that one. "Pooh, you stupid bastard! That sandwich had honey on it!" Franklin yelled as he pulled out a Tommy gun and shot himself in the temple, killing himself. "What the hell?" Darby exclaimed in utter shock and fear. "Shut up, Darby, you annoying little toe rag!" The driver complained while eating the cheesy pizza that was intended for Tim. Ainsley and Emily didn't seem to acknowledge the deaths of their sons. Instead, made their way inside Pooh's house for the party. The party was pretty normal for the most part, but at some point Emily and Tigger disappeared from the party. Halfway through the party, an angry Ainsley came running down the stairs, with Tigger and Emily falling behind. Basically, Ainsley explains to the gang that he found Tigger and Emily doing a lot of, inappropriate things together. They were caught playing with Star Wars Lego. Ainsley then said, "I want a divorce. I never liked you anyway, Em. I only married you because you were pregnant with Franklin." That's no longer an issue now, is it? "I'm going to marry my true love, Luca Brasi." Ainsley announced as a small SUV pulled up outside. The driver walked in and revealed himself as Luca Brasi. But one thing must be understood. I would never go against the Godfather. Don Corleone is a man I respect. I understand he must put his sons before me in the family business, Luca explained. Pure poetry, Remy the rat said while pulling that cheesy face he made when Gusto made that soup. Take me shopping, big boy, Ainsley exclaimed as Luca picked him up and ran outside with him in his arms. The two ran towards the sunset as the song Love Lifts Up Where We Belong played in the background. Emily then started crying before exclaiming, "That's it! I'm moving to Spain to marry a handsome scuba diver named Gab!" She then got into the limousine from earlier, and it drove away into the distance. Rabbit then got a text on his phone and exclaimed, "Guys, guess what? My family's coming over for a visit. Isn't that swell?" No. The whole gang screamed as the episode ended with the normal credits. Joseph Green came in and yelled, "Who the hell made that episode?" None of us spoke up out of fear of what he might do to us. Green then sighed before saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, this episode has caused our good friend Mark Bergen to jump out of the 10-story window. With his sad passing, I am reluctant to announce your dismissal from this company," Green explained. "What? Why?" I asked, confused but in a British accent. "Because, dear Peter," Green began while getting extra close to my face. He then continued with, "Since no one will confess to the crime, I'm going to fire all of you," Green said evilly, while letting out a massive fart. "I'm getting poisoned by the gas exchange. I need to be naked," Green cried as he began dancing around like a little girl. An old intern whose name was Colonel Bernal then stood up and proclaimed, "I made the episode." "What?" we all yelled at the top of our lungs. "I made it up for you, Emily, because I love you," Bernal explained while looking at Emily, who was visibly touched by this. Also, the chair he was sitting in stunk like diarrhea and rotten meat mixed together in a bag underneath a bridge in New Orleans. "Well, now you know who made the episode, you don't have to fire us," Pompidou said confidently. "Oh, I'm still going to fire you. I can't have staff who make disturbing episodes like this," Green explained before continuing. "As for you, Colonel, let's see what the police have to say about this." "You'll never take me alive," Bernal yelled as he sat back down as his chair suddenly grew wings. He grabbed Emily, placed her on his lap. As the chair flew toward the sky, it made its way toward the sunset. However, they didn't get very far as the plane ended up crashing into them, causing a massive explosion, which killed both of them. The plane was not damaged by this, however, for whatever reason. Following this incident, we were all fired by Green, and he changed Playhouse Disney into Disney Junior. The episode is also what led to him canceling My Friends Tigger and Pooh, as well as all the other programs on the network. I'm now engaged to Pompidou, and even now, nearly 8 years later, we're still talking about this episode. I still don't know how Bernal made the episode, how his chair was able to grow wings and fly, or how much a bottle of Coke costs on the train, but rest assured, one day, I am confident I will have all of the answers.